I like it though. I, I don't think I finished the season, but I like what I watched. It was good.
Is that a Stacy over there? It is Stacy.
Yeah.
Hi, Stacy.
But spoil it. Yeah. Yeah. No. I didn't know. Yeah. Same. I didn't know much about the Doom Patrol. When I started watching it, but like the show itself is good. But to be fair, like even for Marvel, like I didn't know much about Guardians of the Galaxy, and it ended up being like one of my favorite Marvel movies. You know what I mean? So I'm down. I'm down. Plus, I'm a fucking geek. So what? Because I want to be Captain America. I like it. I like it. What up, chat? What up, chat? What up, Eddie Campos? Hey, chat. Can you let me know if you guys hear anybody else? Do you hear George and Masa, or is it just Angel? Let me know, chat. Let me know before we get started. We got about 15 minutes before we get started. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Oh, can't hear it. Cool. I'll fix it right now. So bear with me, chat. Bear with me. The audio looks fine.
Looks good, then that's okay.
Bear
Yo,
with me,
fucking
guys.
All
yeah,
right. Well,
dog.
since no one can hear me,
No, no,
yeah, go
no.
ahead.
Stop. I might have fixed it. So say something.
Well, just try it out, though.
Okay,
Just,
no,
just
it's
try
right.
something
So
controversial.
whatever you're not gonna,
Alright,
whatever you're
alright.
gonna say with people can hear you,
All right.
they can hear you now.
Alright,
So
cool.
think twice before you say anything.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say something about the women's soccer team, but never mind. I ain't gonna say no more.
We
No, I'm fucking.
Yeah, keep
No,
it
what were you
about
gonna say to myself, bro? What were you gonna say?
Logan said
um
can't hear all three.
I had I think a little mini series collection, the comic book of
Of
Lobo.
Lobo?
Man Condition Food issue 1 through 4. And
Dang.
I don't know what the fuck happens to those shits, bro.
Damn, that's fucking.
Even
sick.
even as a little kid, fool, like I knew not to fuck these shits up. I would take care of them. I had them in the little like covers and everything, and I would like read them and then I'll put them back in.
I got a fat stack of comics, and they're all shit, and they're all DC too. I didn't realize. I always thought it was
Really?
more. Yeah, I thought it was
Damn,
always
hey,
more.
let me get them. I'm gonna need those because I'm gonna be quarantined for 14 days. I was told that that's very likely, so I'm gonna need
Yeah,
something.
I mean,
to-
you could take them. You could take them. You could use them. Just get them back. I just
You
didn't
know when
realize.
you leave?
Maybe, possibly. There's a chance that could be November 10th,
Oh, you still got
possibly.
time.
Well, it
Damn,
depends.
dog,
It might be
I'm gonna
sooner.
be sad, dog.
It might be sooner because November 10th is if I decide to go into special forces. I was supposed to go tomorrow morning. Well, my recruiter for that hit me up that they have because I have to pass a test for that, a physical test for that. And if I pass the test, if I pass it before October 10th, no, he said before mid-October, then I can ship out November 10th with the next group of special forces people. But if not, I'm gonna talk to my regular recruiter tomorrow at 3 p.m. to talk about the other jobs and stuff, and that can be I don't know in the next 2 weeks or the next few months. It depends on the job availability then. But I'm really digging the fucking the special ops because I was reading into that and all that shit. Literally, I'm getting paid to work out. All your tax money is just going for me to work out. That's pretty much it.
I mean, our tax money goes to people getting shot, so it's all good.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, eventually, that's basically part of the job. To be honest with you, it's a lot
Hey,
of that.
call me selfish, dog. I hope you fail your physical and don't leave anywhere, dog.
Well, he fails his physical, he leaves earlier, stupid. So you want him to pass his physical so he could leave later.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, let's drug Angel.
I'm down.
Actually, no, I already passed my physical at MAP, so they're not gonna test me anymore.
Well, we'll take pictures and send them in.
All right, that works. Yeah, that
Yeah,
works.
dog.
Yeah.
You know, dog, we have 3 seasons of you saying some very foul shit.
Yo,
I mean,
That's crazy, huh?
hey,
But listen, none of it, everything that I say on the podcast is just for the purpose of hashtag ratings,
It's
you know,
entertainment.
hashtag views.
it's
It's
entertainment.
entertainment.
It's entertainment.
Hashtag entertainment. Nothing that I say on this podcast, apart from every fact that I say about the Galaxy being trash, everything else, like all the away stories, everything, that's all a lie. It's all just make believe, guys.
I don't know.
So they can't take you, dog. You're a clown.
Nah,
dog.
at this point they fucked because they made me sign the paper and I signed, and now it's mutual. Like it's both ways. Like I fucked up, they fucked up, so we have to just decide and be happy
I've
together.
heard you say that you're a Russian spy.
Uh, actually, have you seen the Umbrella Academy?
No. Is it
That
good?
shit-
Yeah.
yeah, we're in season 2 right now, and part of season 2.
Hey,
Has a-
the spoilers? No spoilers?
No, it's not really a spoiler. It's just
Okay.
if people that are really into the Cold War era, it's based in that era. So it's a lot of Russian spy talk and KGB and shit like that. So it's pretty dope.
Hey, we do have.
No,
we do have
Logan
about,
Jones. No, man, I'm not. I have not tested positive for the Rona.
we got about 10 minutes left, and I do want to talk about the Spanish GP. You guys see it?
What?
Dog, you know what? I
Spanish
fell
GP?
asleep.
F1.
I fell
What did you
asleep,
say?
dog. I'm sad.
Yeah. I saw it.
Well, listen, I understand why you fall asleep. That was a boring ass race.
Oh, you guys
Dog-
talking about F1? Oh, for
Yeah,
sure. Do your
dog,
thing.
but-
I'll engage with the YouTube channel.
I
in the
didn't
meantime.
even fucking like make it. Like I got up, I put my alarm, I turned on the TV, and I was about to make cafecito. I'm like, nah, let me just chill in the sofa for a bit.
Knocked out.
Dog, I woke up on the last lap.
You said good morning, fellas, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to have a conversation with Masa because I knew Rudy wasn't gonna wake
Yeah,
up.
I didn't wake
I
up.
knew it. I knew, and then I was like, hell yeah, and I was like, yo, what up? Nothing. And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up lap 12 or 16.
It was like 11:30, dog.
And I was so fucking astonished that nobody had DNF at that time, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing of all these races leading up to it was people DNFing like first
Yeah.
lap,
Well,
second lap.
is the Spanish GP like the track is so hard to overtake that you don't see a lot of accidents, right? Because people are way more precautious about that shit.
Hey,
It's-
how do you feel? My bad. How do you feel about that fool Max going at it with his team? That shit was sick. I was like, yo, this was a monster. I fuck with Lewis Hamilton, but Max is a hard second. Just that fool's just ruthless. He doesn't care. His team tells him back off. He's like, what the fuck? Hell no.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I get it though. Like Red Bull like it is not really competing right now, right? So like for them to be stressing over that, was like chill the fuck out. Let me worry about me. What am I doing? Like don't give me their update. Listen, I didn't wake up. We fell asleep late playing, so I didn't wake up for it. But as soon as I woke up, I turned on my phone. I turned it off because I didn't want to see no notifications. I didn't want to see anything, and I watched the race like for the 2 hours or whatever. And man, I was upset. I was like, damn, that was just a boring house, especially because fucking Hamilton and his takeoff and it's so dumb.
If Lewis gets pole, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. This one gets once he does that first turn. If he pulls away, the only one close to stopping him is his teammate or Max.
Well, you guys hear about they're taking out the quality modes, right? Like for Spa, for Belgium coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh,
They're taking
really?
away all the qualifying modes they use because they usually use stupid modes that open up the full engine for them, so they could get like faster time to qualify, right? And the thought was they were going to remove it for next season, but they're removing it this season for Spa. So I think Belgium in 2 weeks, they'll all just be. They won't have like those, they call them party modes because like they open up all the engine or whatever. So they're gonna remove them all. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that affects it because I still think Mercedes still has like the edge. I think.
I have
I
a
think.
question. What's the earliest that someone's won the championship?
Oh, I don't know. And this year's even weirder because we still undetermined how many races the season is really gonna be, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's crazy.
Because like the Americas is pretty much canceled. I think Canada is the only one that might have a chance to get a race, but the rest of America, like North America, South America, and Mexico are canceled for sure. So we don't even know. We don't even know how many races it's gonna be. So I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like it's 2020, dog. Nothing is for sure. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Yo, where you at? Let me see. Francisco Portillo says, "What's up, Leclerc without a seatbelt?" You seen that? You guys hear about that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
My man is wild. Like he complained about it. I think I think he might have complained about it in the formation lab, and then he just kind of said, "Fuck it." That was wild though. It's bad for him too though because his fucking engine just shut down on him, and he didn't finish the race, which sucks. He's having.
Hey, Masa,
decent
we have a chat saying, "Yo, that hat that Masa got on is just as bad as wearing a Lava's hat."
It is what it is, dog. I don't give a fuck with these.
And an
people say.
Angels hat.
I don't give a
Fuck
fuck
the
what none
Angels.
of these people say, dog. I've been fucking Clippers forever, dog. Could suck a dick.
Yours or
Does
or
the
just
size matter?
General. Yeah. Let's get into
I
details.
wanted
about
the
this.
size matter.
All four of us, or just one particular? Like,
Yeah.
have
like,
you
how
ever?
does-
Have
I
you
mean,
seen
is
the
it
dick?
us? Is somebody else? Like, what dick is it?
Yeah. Like, be,
Yeah.
be specific, dog.
And should I grab it from the bottom of the like how? Like how does
Yeah,
it work?
yeah,
Is there
like-
instructions of how I should be doing
Yeah.
the sucking?
Like,
of
is it
your
suck
sex?
and stroke
People-
or
there's
just?
people
However
that
you
do this.
feel, however you feel
Hey,
comfortable. baby. You
anybody
do
watching
it.
with kids, I
Well,
am so
it's not about
sorry.
me, it's about
Anybody
you.
watching with kids or anybody who's a,
This
Yo,
is,
by now you
it's
know
a
people-
pre-show right now.
Why,
It's
listen,
got weird.
this is a school. This is a school day. If your kids aren't asleep by now, it's your fault.
That's facts.
There's no school though.
Yeah,
There is.
No,
Starts
it
tomorrow.
starts tomorrow. I think it starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Eli
Yeah.
even starts school this week
I already
already.
know.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Sick ass
Glenn
guy.
says, boys, when this is over, we need to go kart races, set it all. I am down for that.
Hey yo,
down.
speed
I
zone
am
dog.
down
Let's
for
fucking
that.
do it.
I am down for that. I'm down for that big time, dog.
Are we really gonna do this? That way I can start working out, dog. 'Cause
So
I
you
ain't
fit in the
gonna
cart?
No, well, not that. Just so I could have faster
Hey.
time.
Hey, I'm
He's
not
been
talking
trying to
shit.
say-
Because if
That's
Masa can
foul as
fit,
fuck, dog.
He's been
no, if
holding
Masa
that
can
shit.
fit, I ain't
Foul
fitting,
as
dog.
fuck.
That
He's
ain't
holding
talking
that
talking,
shit.
dog.
It is what
Listen,
it is.
Rudy
He's
just
been
called
holding
Masa
that
fat because he can't get into a go kart.
listen, Masa can't get in a go kart.
Exactly.
I can't
Yeah.
get in a go kart.
Dog,
I wasn't implying that I'm skinnier
I have,
Masa by
I
any
have a
means.
good life, dog. Carne asada every
Yeah,
weekend.
so hey,
baby.
the weekend or what, Masa? Oof.
Do it, baby.
Let's go.
You know where the weekend will be better? Arizona.
I don't know, man.
Hey, chat. George is trying to convince Masa to go to Arizona, to leave to Arizona. He wants to start a
we-
Phoenix Rising support.
Are we
group,
actually? Listen, there's a base. Arizona has a base, an Air Force base.
Yes,
RBG,
sir.
Oh, you too?
we can, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it, might as
So.
well.
My
right?
Felicia's.
Oh shit.
Dog,
My
the
Felicia's.
type of income you're gonna be making, and the cost of living in Arizona. What?
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm good,
Yeah.
man.
They'll pay you to live out there.
Hey,
Basically,
hey, chat.
sounds about right.
We're
yeah.
looking for new friends. I'm looking for new friends. Slam DMs.
Are you-
There-
You-
people,
you-
people
hey,
who
the-
don't, we were
the
not going to move
requirements
to
are-
Arizona.
You have to be toxic on Friday nights. You have to peer pressure on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
And try on Sunday. That's the only requirement.
I need
Yeah,
to have
that's
an
a good
Xbox
requirement. That's a
PC
good
and PlayStation 4 as well. A Switch,
Yeah.
Switch is nice. As well.
PS5.
PS5. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yo,
Hey.
you watched the Europa and Champions League games?
Ooh,
This has
fuck
been
yeah,
crazy,
dog.
huh?
Hell yeah.
Dog, Inter
Hell
fucking
yeah.
wrecked today, dog.
Hey,
I
our
already knew
spin-off
that.
show? Ooh.
That's-
Sevilla? Hey, I'm
Ask
from
Angel.
Sevilla.
Ask Angel, dog. I called this shit before they even played, dog. A week before Man U played Sevilla and Inter played Shakhtar. I told
Yeah,
Angel what
that's
the
true,
final
he
was going to
did,
be.
Well, I mean,
It's
the Inter one was kind of obvious. The Sevilla one, I was a little
Dog.
skeptical.
If
but
you've been watching Sevilla, dog. I
You
could've
called that
told-
too, though. You did call that. You said,
Yeah, like,
you said, you
Sevilla's
go
gonna take
refill,
that.
though.
Yeah,
What about Champions
Hey,
League?
Logan Jones, you're my
Champions
favorite
League's
too.
been crazy,
Yo,
though.
What
Champions
about
League is
Champions
up in
League?
the
Yo,
air.
like, let's
You
talk
can
about that
go with it.
Barcelona match real quick.
Champions League.
You talk about the Barcelona match. real
Yo,
quick.
listen, I thought they were going
What's
to
there
take
to
it out.
say?
I
Bayern
thought
Munich
they-
is the best team of all time. Just
Okay,
Bayern
no,
Munich.
about that.
You know? It's-
I
they're the
thought
greatest.
I thought Barca was going to take an L for sure. For sure, I knew. I thought they were going to take an L.
Yeah, same.
Never
Oh, that
did I
shit
think it
too,
was going to be a fucking
Hey.
8-2.
Talk about
Bro.
Sterling.
Raheem fucking
Man,
Sterling.
I get all the shit he's getting for that, but I've had a ridiculous season, though.
Dog, five minutes.
It doesn't matter
before
though.
No,
Dog,
it doesn't
come
matter. It
on,
matters a
that-
lot. It matters a lot.
5 minutes before that, I was like, "Yo, he set that goal up, monster of a player."
Yeah, like he had a hell of a season. But again, listen, if you guys don't remember him at Liverpool, then you guys tripping because that's why he pretty much he pretty much got kicked out of Liverpool because he couldn't
Sterling
finish.
and-
Pep kind of
and
just
what's-
Pep
and
and that
Sturridge.
team kind of.
Raheem,
Sturridge
I'm
is
just
my
gonna
boy.
say this: Raheem Sterling has been overrated for. A
Hey,
long
what happened to
time, dog.
Sturridge?
You mean
Overrated? You think
underrated or
so?
overrated?
He's overrated.
Oh
He's
wow!
overrated.
I don't think he's
No, no.
overrated. I think he's
Sterling,
overrated.
Sterling's
No.
overrated, dog.
I
Not
don't
at
think
all.
so.
Sterling's overrated. I
No.
think just Pep got the better of him, and then you still have moments like this where he's gonna fuck up because he's overrated.
He's not a
Hey,
world
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's
That,
not
that
a
Nah,
fucked up
he's
though. That's
overrated.
That's a hot take.
think-
That's a hot take.
Overrated.
That's fine.
Nah,
That's a
you know
hot
what? I
take.
think it's
Overrated.
harder. It's
Overrated.
harder to miss that chance
Yeah.
than putting in the back of the net. It's harder to
talented.
miss.
But you know what it
Yeah,
is?
he's talented. That's what I'm saying. He's talented. Like
You know what it is?
I can't miss that.
No, but
Yeah.
you know what it is? I think he was on to the next play. Let's get the third goal. Like, right? Because it's so easy as a tap in. He's on to the next play already. Like, his head wasn't even scoring that goal anymore. And you fucking lose track for a second. And
That's insane.
it was a bad miss, bro. And that would trip me out,
That's
too. Like,
terrible.
and the fact that Lyon
Well,
were
right-
able to turn around and score that goal, like, right?
Yeah, right
like,
after that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Immediately after that.
Shit,
Yeah, it's
dog,
crazy.
shit.
That's
Pep-
it. LA Galaxy is Manchester City. Same shit. Same person.
What about
Yep.
Pep, though? What about Pep?
Overrated, dog.
Oh, you think Pep's
Super-
overrated?
Come on,
I-
dog.
I-
You don't think he's overrated?
No, I don't
I
think
He's
think
super
he is.
overrated.
I think he is after.
I
Listen,
think-
I
I
saw
don't-
the whole Man City thing. I love the way that he talks to his players. Listen, I like him as a coach.
Come
But
on, dog.
listen, if you're gonna have that chip on your shoulder that you can't win shit without teams that are made, you're gonna have that chip even
No,
with
but
teams
listen,
that
this
are
team is
made.
made. Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
this team
winning
is
it.
made. I don't just listen. I still think Pep is probably the best coach, except that he makes bonehead
Yeah.
mistakes too. I think the way like he sets up
False.
he sets up the team.
The
Pep-
best coach right now is Mikel Arteta. Facts.
Chill. Pep, what he
Facts.
does is the best at getting a team to play his style, and that's it, dog.
And I like his style.
That
I
is it.
personally like his style though. Like I personally fuck with his style. I
I'd
like-
rather play ugly and win, dog. Fuck that.
like
What's the
like
point of
Atleti,
playing
like
Boca?
Atleti,
Boca
like
or what?
Atleti,
Nah,
Boca
Boca.
like
Boca.
Atleti.
Oh,
Like
no,
Atleti?
Remember the
that's-
shit
it's
that
a
we saw?
rebuild year,
The
baby. It's
video?
a rebuild year.
The
It's
video?
been a it's
The
been
video?
a rebuild here.
Well, yeah, that's why Cholo's a good coach, right? Because every year is a rebuild year for
Yeah,
him.
Shia.
He
Yeah,
loses, he loses players every year. Like it is what it is, dog. Look
Fuck
where he's
Tottenham.
at.
Cheyenne on chat said Tottenham documentary on Amazon is gonna be wild.
Yeah,
It is
it
too,
really
'cause
is. It's gonna be just Tottenham taking fat as hills to everyone.
Listen,
But-
I'll
but it's-
take
but
it.
the characters
I'll
in there,
take it
like,
just 'cause
you're gonna have,
I love fucking Son.
Yeah,
You're gonna have,
I like
uh,
Ronaldo too.
Ronaldo's nice.
Now, what's the coach? Mourinho?
Ronaldo's
You got
the
Mourinho?
Galaxy.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be hilarious. I want to see this.
Mourinho's good. Mourinho's a good coach.
All right,
Mourinho's a
boys.
great coach.
You guys
Yep.
ready?
All right. Is it 9:15? All right, let's do
Yep,
it.
Let's go.
Oh damn! I just gotta take a shit.
Yo, what up? And welcome to another episode of Straight from the Stands, an unapologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by 4 my supporters who bring you their thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy, straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Masa. This is
Arizona. Hell yeah.
Good evening.
This is straight from Arizona. There you
Why
go.
you-
See,
No,
it goes,
no,
yeah.
no,
That's a
no.
good
Don't even
ring
start
to
with that
it.
shit. I ain't trying to start this podcast
SFTS.
with that shit.
I'm curious.
Good
I'm gonna
Does
replay this fucking
SFTS?
intro because stop. Dog. I'm not.
You know
straight
you're not,
from
no.
the Sunshine State, dog.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get
Is
out
that
of
what
here.
it's called?
You need to get out of here.
Nah, I don't know. Is it? Is it Sunshine
Nah, I
State,
don't think
Arizona?
so.
I don't think that's
I don't think so.
Fuck.
I
Yeah.
don't
Hey,
know. I don't think
um,
so. That doesn't
Fucking
sound
let's go
right.
to Florida, just so it sounds
All right.
right.
Yeah, I think
For-
Florida sounds more of a Sunshine State.
For our audio listeners who don't see the pre-show talk, George is on a fucking trip that he wants to move to Arizona, trying to convince both Angel and Masa,
Masa-
as well as
He's trying to
other people.
he's trying to convince Rudy because I'm in. and
I'm not.
Angel's
Yo,
in,
you
too.
guys
And
are
listen, there's an
nuts,
Air Force
man.
base out there, so I'll be Gucci.
You guys are nuts, bro. You guys are trying to be Phoenix Rising Ultras or what? That's the game plan.
I'm down. They've won something.
Yeah, I
recently.
mean, yeah.
You guys are trash.
And they're still playing. They're actually playing matches.
You guys are trash. You guys are
You know,
trash.
Drogba the legend, he played there.
You guys are trash. So now getting that out of the way, that you guys are trash. How you doing, George?
I'm doing amazing. Lakers playoffs start tomorrow. I haven't
Lakers in
been
what?
able to say Laker playoffs start tomorrow. I haven't been
Lakers in
able
4.
to say that in a couple
Lakers in
couple
2.
years. Day time, dinner time, lunchtime. We don't care, dog. Lakers in 1.
Let's go.
There you
Let's go. Angelito, how you doing, Papa?
Shit, I'm doing great, bro. I'm finally till then that process finally came to an end. It's official. It's as official as it gets. At this point, it's just when the fuck are they shipping me out?
You
So,
excited about that?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm pumped. I made weight. That's the thing I was shitting about the most. I'm like, damn, what if I gain a pound? Because I can't in the Air Force. You can't. Like they're big about that shit. If you're so for my height and weight, I should have been at yeah, I know, right? I can't exceed 165 pounds. But in the Air Force, it's frowned upon if you're if you're within the 5 pounds. So I had to be at 160 to make my weight, and I just made it at 160 fucking
I
pounds.
mean, I think I can make it. I'm around. You know.
Yeah, it sounds about right. But yeah, it's official. It's official as it gets now. Well, I've signed my life already to yeah,
That's
Commander in
wild.
Chief. So he's my new boss now. He's my boss. I can't say anything.
That's
He's my
wild.
boss. Hell yeah.
Masa, how you feeling,
up,
baby?
baby?
You wearing that ugly ass hat, but how you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. Got a game 1 out the way. Let's go.
Yeah.
That was a hard game 1.
Yeah, it was.
was
Hey,
a very
Luka
hard game.
Doncic is the fucking truth, dog. Luka's so fucking good, bro. That's crazy.
So
You're better though.
What's
Oh,
up,
thank
Masa? You guys gonna celebrate a playoff win?
Nah, We'll
No,
celebrate when we get to the next round because that shit
That's
never
a
happens.
celebration.
Yeah, that's a celebration.
That's what's up.
You know,
you
Clippers
doing,
should go to
buddy?
Seattle. That'd make a fun rivalry.
Hey, chill, dog.
How you doing, Rudy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Countdown is here. The last 4 days of work before I officially hit full employment.
Hell yeah.
Listen,
is-
and for those listening, that sounds like damn fuck. I'm sorry to hear that. Rudy's been waiting for this.
Yeah, he's been asking like, damn, I can't wait for them to let me go. And
Yeah.
now time's coming.
Yeah, listen, I got a gang of projects I want to take care of right now that I have some free time coming up, so I'm looking forward to it. And also, you know,
So you're finally coming through with the SFTA merch
no, that's
straight
not one of
from
them.
the Arizona.
Nope, that's not one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I 100% guarantee you that's not one of them. I got a bunch of courses I want to finish taking and some project I'm gonna do before I start looking for my next position. So I'm excited.
Nice.
It's fun times. Fun times. But enough about
Happy
us.
for you.
Enough about us.
What you mean? Low-key, talking about us is gonna be more exciting. Talking about the Galaxy, dog. We're about to get disappointed, and well, listen, I'm not gonna be disappointed because I know what to expect. But you know, well, at least all four of us, I think, for the most part. But I want to hear more about George moving to Arizona and the houses and Masa and his whippers, clippers, and about your projects, Rudy. I mean, I think that'd be more exciting than talking about this fat ass else.
No. Let's
No? Alright.
no.
Oh,
Fat ass else it is.
oh, oh,
Damn. What's going on there, George?
oh.
Who they beating?
Hey, you all right, dog?
Just ignore the gunshots in
That's
the
a
back.
that's a distress call, dog.
Just
Oh, I see the fireworks popping
Yeah,
off
I
in
see
the
like
back.
that fireworks in the back.
Yo,
Man.
this is some shit, though.
Sheesh.
Hey,
And there were
George,
gunshots in my last year, right? In the pod here.
George,
George.
And this is why I don't want to move to Arizona. Come on,
This shit wouldn't happen over there, dog.
look at this. You hear this shit?
George,
I can see
Hear
it.
this shit, dog. It hasn't stopped. It's been 30 seconds.
Nope.
you wanna put your address up so we know where to go look for you in case
In Phoenix, dog. I'll send you my Arizona address.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Oh my god! All right, boys. Let's get going. Yoni Alexander Gonzalez Copete, 6 foot right winger,
Slash
Colombian. Current rights are owned by Benfica, but he's in Corinthians.
El Corinthians.
He's linked heavily, like my weight heavy, with the G's right now, right?
Or mine, bitch.
I'm fat too, motherfucker.
I'm trying to make amends. Come on, I'm trying to make amends here. Yeah, linked to us heavily. Troll Baxter. I mean Kevin Baxter.
Bitch Baxter. My bad.
Came,
Damn, that was
came
the-
out and said 99% done deal. What do you guys think?
You know, I want to get Masa's thoughts on this guy because we had a conversation. Is it last week? 2 weeks ago? We were just talking about Colombians.
Mm-hmm.
And look at where we're at right now in this conversation
That's
about
crazy,
this
dude.
Colombian. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Galaxy have like fucking homing beacons on us and they can hear our conversations too.
They have
Because
that.
We
for
just
us.
had this conversation talking about these Colombian wingers. So why don't you put people here with the knowledge about what our conversation and your thoughts around everything that encompasses Yoni right now?
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen too much of him. Just highlight videos, right? Which makes everyone look good. But from what I've seen is he could play striker, and he's fast as shit too. And that fool has some hops, bro.
He's
Like,
6
I was
feet
watching-
tall.
When I was watching a video, the first video I saw was from him playing in Colombia because I wanted to see how he did in his home league, and he was playing striker most of the time. And then he went to, I think, Fluminense, and they threw him out on the wing, and he balled out right there. And Corinthians didn't really do much. Then the whole COVID shit hit, but his performances at Fluminense basically got him signed to Benfica, but Benfica never took him to Portugal. So
Yeah,
he was in
stayed in
Brazil,
Brazil.
and they loaned him out to Corinthians, and he
Yeah.
had to meet, I think, 5 games, and they had to pay what, $3 million to keep him, and he never got to play that 5th game because of COVID. So they're doing another. From what I've read, it's a 6-month loan or to the end of December, and if
With
he
an option
meets
to buy.
certain requirements, he's gonna have an option to buy. For $3 million, I think that's pretty cheap. But we have to see what he does on the field first.
You know what's interesting? Like when I read about him before I seen any highlights, before I looked him up or anything, I read Columbia winger, and I imagined, a shortish guy, 5'5", 5'6", speedy motherfucker, right? That's what I imagined immediately, right? Just because I think like when you think Colombian wingers, that's what comes to mind for me, at least, right? Like just
Uh-huh.
a speedy guy down the wing.
Curious, who did you think of in terms of player when you thought of that?
I don't. I can't even.
I don't imagine them being small.
Well, see, I get it from from the Colombians, for a lot of the Colombians who play in Mexico, like in Liga MX, right? That's what I envision. Like, and I can't really tell you names, but just like that's what I imagine, right? I imagine a smaller, speedy guy. That's what I imagine.
Okay.
And then I looked him up, and I'm like, oh, 6 feet tall. Like, even if he was intolerant, right? Like 5'8", 5'9", I would have said cool. But 6 feet tall, like for a winger, that's really good. Like that's tall, and he has the pace for it, right? A lot of times when we get like these taller players, like there's some lack of pace. But my man, he looks agile, tall, and with pace. Like,
And physical too. Like
yeah, I mean, he has a frame for it, right? He has a whole 6 feet of him. Uh, to me, like that's a very good look, especially for the MLS. It excites me a little bit. You know what I mean? Just like, again, we have to see it on the field, right? Because highlights, as Masa said, are just that. They're highlights. They're intended to showcase the best of you, not necessarily all of you. But like, man, like I think his physical attributes just check a lot of boxes in my book for what I want to see in the winger. Like, I didn't even think that was a thing, right? But like, I'd like that. What do you?
Mm.
Masa,
And it's
Angel?
just a lot of the same to you guys, right? I can't speak to him because I mean, we do our best when we try to watch as much soccer as we can and see as many players as we can, but it's impossible to know every single player out there, right? But just in resume alone, and I didn't pay attention to see which Colombian team he came from. How old is he? 20, 21,
I think
22?
he's like
26. He's
25 or
26.
26.
26.
Something like
25,
that.
26? Okay. And this is what I was my conversation with you guys off off the pod here is we're talking about the guy that played at Fluminense, right? That's where he played at Fluminense.
That's where he had his best season.
His best
in
years,
Brazil.
right?
About from, yeah.
Best, okay. And then currently at Corinthians, right? Obviously he didn't meet that fifth game, but obviously he played the first four. My thing is, we were talking about the Brazilian teams. They have a knack for creating very talented wingers and forwards and center midfielders. For them to go out of their way, a team like Fluminense or a team like Corinthians to actually go out of their way and sign a Colombian player has to speak volumes for this one player, right? Because we're talking about a club like Fluminense that's up there with, when we're talking about the other big clubs of Brazil, and same thing with Corinthians. They're some of the well-known teams. I mean, there's obviously Flamengo's another one, Sao Paulo. There's several others, right? So when I'm thinking of this as a player, okay, I don't have to watch this guy. I don't have to watch him closely or know him. But I'm gonna think about, okay, well, let me see, what teams does he play for? Well, what do I know about Corinthians? What do I know about Fluminense? Here's what I know about Fluminense. Here's what I know about Corinthians. Teams that you see often either in Copa Sudamericana or in Copa Libertadores. These are teams that are well established in Brazil, well known across South America in general. So for them to say, hey, I want this Colombian player and not bring up one of my kids from the youth ranks, that has to say something for him. And then obviously Benfica is not no push. They're not a pushover team either. Obviously the Portuguese league in itself is not that great. But listen, we can't talk about no farm leagues or things like that because look at we have Bundesliga team and a Ligue 1 team right now in the Champions League finals, right in the semis. So even that's a toss up. But Benfica is definitely one of the better known teams there. I mean, they won what is the Europa League several years back, if I'm not mistaken, right? So they're definitely, we're talking about very well known teams. Obviously Benfica, that's their MO, go get these younger players and then they flip them to the bigger teams. Yes, but in terms of the Brazilian teams, for them to go out and get a Colombian player, a Colombian winger, when they have a lot of talented players to do so, that to me has to say something.
That's the
Well,
key.
listen,
I think that's the key when it comes to the South American team wanting someone instead of building them up. And I agree with you. That's when it sparks an interest in me. And like, I'm going to repeat a lot of what we said.
Go for it.
We're not going to judge a player until we see him, because obviously we've seen a lot of highlights, we've seen a lot of things, but we've done that with players that we have came into the scene, but like, oh, okay, that's good. But I think the dark horse or the factor in that a South American team, a Brazilian South American team, they don't get someone that's washed because they know their fans demand a lot. And it requires a special talent to play in the Brazilian league, not just having talent, but also having that fight, and also having that you're not getting a pushover from a South American team.
Yeah, listen, I think anybody who plays any team who plays in Libertadores or the Sudamericana, like these are competitions who you better have good bone density because you're gonna get cracked, right?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
just,
Hell yeah.
and speaking of that, like I was just going through the transfer market, and again, that's information I'm getting from them, not come from me or something that's verified. But in the last 3 years, there's no injury, which is key, right? Because as Angel, vividly mentions often, like how these injuries impact us because we rely on players who are injured and we're not disposable. So for him not to have any injury in the last 3 years is big. And this, 3 years that he's been playing, he's averaging at least the last 2 years, not taking this into consideration, like 20 odd games, right? And most of them starting some off the bench. All that is good. And it's an interesting look because it's 26 years old, right? It's 26 years old. As Masa was mentioning, it sounds like it's going to be a loan, so it's like a very low risk with a very potential high upside to it, right? We get a player who's a loan player, la viene y la rompe, like he comes in, he excels everything we expect. Then you could buy him for $3 million. I mean,
probably even less at this point because of COVID. The $3 million was before COVID.
But
So-
I mean, let's say on the worst side of things, right? In this $3 million, like it's still not a bad it's not a bad look. It's not a bad look. Again,
Well, and really quick to address David Laba here in the chat, he says he plays and I quote David here, he plays a lot like Vinicius. He and talking about Yoni here, agile, fast, and a lot of techers, but can't finish for shit. Listen, even if he can't finish for shit, we're not bringing him to be the finisher. We have that we should have that, right? And what's supposed to be Chicharito. So if he can do everything else, and that's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we've been talking about. That we need someone on the opposite end of Pavon, so it's not just Pavon doing everything.
Yeah, we need that threat as well, right? I think, we had this conversation when we were talking about the MLS back tournament on how no matter where you put Pavon, if you don't have Chicharito and you don't have Jonah, like all the threat is on Pavon, so the team's easy. Like, get 2 guys on Pavon. Like we'll leave another low risk player alone, and we'll just cover Pavon, right? But if you're talking about a ideal lineup of Pavon on one wing, Yoni on the other wing, and Chicha up top, you're looking at 3 real, threats, right? The defense has to redistribute, and even maybe the midfield come down and help out defending 3 threats, which is what we need. I think really what we need is when we have that threat, it opens up spaces for everybody else. So, I'm scared to say I'm excited just because I've been excited before with a lot of signings or potential signings. But it does check a lot of what I was looking for, right? Especially, and I know it, some of you might be upset about it, but especially on the non-sports side of it, like where it's again, it's another loan and the possibility of buying him for a rate that I think it's a fair rate, if he proves himself. So I'm excited about that. Another news that came out today, Houston signed Ariel Lassiter.
El Puppy.
Go pooping my fucking ass.
Trash. Question: did anybody see how well or how bad he did at Saprissa?
He did really good.
He did like what 26 scores, something like that. In his first
He
season?
did outstanding, bro. He even got a national team call up for Costa Rica.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
For the people.
Yeah.
so we're getting 50K in GAM, right? Did I get
With
that
a
right?
possible 100 if he meets
Performance?
certain requirements or performances. So
here,
that's close enough, dog. I called 150, but I mean, it is what it is.
let me propose a question. Did we give up on him too early?
No,
No,
I think
to me,
it-
he's Zubac all over again. Fuck
Yeah.
that. Nah, it's the same shit. Look,
At
if he does well for Houston, good on him.
Yeah.
Again, we said this. There's certain forwards and strikers. You just can't you're not cut out for the Galaxy. And that's the truth. You'll be cut out for it. I mean, look, again, this goes back to the whole Sardis thing. Yes, Sardis is doing good in Columbus, but they also play different than we do here.
Yeah.
The pressures are different. It's different. And for as shit as our club is, that you still have that pressure. I mean, listen, I know these players probably feel they're kicking back, but I'm sure Chicharito feels the pressure.
Yeah,
I can't speak for the rest of the team, but I'm sure he feels as the forward when the team is losing games or missing sitters, missing penalties. I'm sure he feels the pressure. I don't
hope
know
he
if
does.
Nari Lassiter can handle that. I don't know if fucking well, Subak proved that he can handle the pressure in one game. So Ari Lassiter to me is the same thing all over again. There was high hopes for him. If I had more hopes for him than I did for Zubak, and just as disappointing.
Yeah.
Let me just. I have a question. 25 years old, and he's been gone for 2 years, 1 year.
Something like that. 2,
About
3,
a
4,
year and a
5,
half,
6, 7,
3, 4
8, 9,
years.
10. Fuck it, I don't care.
It's interesting. Listen, I'm curious to see how he responds, coming back to MLS and see what he does in MLS. Right.
I can tell you how he's gonna do when he plays against the Galaxy. Hat trick against the Galaxy, guaranteed.
Right. I mean, I was hoping to set that up for you, but
Yeah.
go ahead. But still, like I am definitely interested to see how he does because, again, right with Sardis, like it was a player that we let go, and then we've seen he's providing goals and he's doing a lot of what he needs to do as a central forward. I don't give a shit what kind of game style you're playing. Like what he's doing as a central forward is technically sound, right? Like he's doing what he needs to do as a center forward. So I always have that curiosity of like, what if he had the right manager or just like what was it that didn't work for him in LA?
Well,
Obviously,
I think
The
we
light
lost
shines brighter
leadership.
here, bro.
We
Is
lost
that it?
leadership. No, I think we lost leadership because once Keane was done, he didn't have anyone to guide him up top, and that's why I was okay with him leaving because at that point he was what 3-4 years in.
something
He
like
should
that.
have already
He
started.
already won a championship.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
he
he's
should
good.
know. He
Yeah.
should know what he had to do. So I think without Keane being there to kind of guide him, and then moving him into fucking other positions that he shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah.
It's come on, bro.
Well,
It was the only option.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like, again, I'm not saying we should never sell them. It's just it's a thought, right? Like, I'm interested. I would. It's always gonna be a question, like, what would happen if he would have got in, different sport? Would he be a better GPS guy than he was for the coach he was playing for? I think the same goes for Eric Lassiter, and we get to see it. Now we get to see it in MLS, right? Again, he's going to Houston, which I don't believe is a good team. We got a draw with them. We probably could have won against them, so that says a lot. I think, in my opinion, just based on.
Listen, we should have won against them, but David Bingham and stuff, and Zubak and stuff.
Again, we could rehash that again, but it's same old story, kind of a replay now. So I am interested in seeing how he does again. Worst comes to worst, we get $50K from him, adding more money to a pot, which we believe it's a nice pot that we're working with. So hopefully we see some real movement coming along in the next few days. Here's a question: is it worrisome that the 12th happened and we're now 5 days into the transfer market and things haven't really picked up? Right? Like there's
I mean,
other
we
than the
signed one
Yoni.
guy?
Who do we sign?
We
Did I
signed
miss
him.
it?
Yoni guy?
No, we haven't
But he's
signed
not
him. I
signed
mean,
yet.
he's not official
Listen,
yet, right?
listen,
Not official.
listen. He signed 3 weeks ago. The Galaxy's gonna let this Galaxy. They're fucking.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
don't even give me an adjective for how we are.
No,
these motherfuckers are notorious for releasing something 3 weeks after we already knew something's happening.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, even at that, right? Let's say Yoni is a thing that has not been confirmed, right? But we believe it's a thing. It still feel like it's and this is my opinion. I still feel like it's a little quiet. Like I wanted to hear a lot more rumors by now. I was expecting today to have a show we had the large majority of our show was gonna be talking about the rumors and who we were linked to, and it's quiet.
quiet.
Is it like is it a lack of us being interested in people, or is it just like the COVID thing still kind of slowing things a lot down? What do you guys think?
Listen,
at
I'm not giving us the COVID thing. Listen, it is what it is. But the fact that we've known since the beginning that this isn't GBS,
Yeah.
this is team. You need to go out there and make some shit happen. I get the COVID thing is a factor that's happening, but the factor is that this team has been shit for a while already. So you have to be looking. It's like, yeah, all right.
I was waiting.
I mean,
No, it's
fine.
like-
And maybe the only defense, perhaps, that I'd say is we don't know what AG is saying in the back end. Right? Like, hey, no, we can't spend because, no one's going to our concerts. Coachella got canceled, then we can't do shit. Right? We don't have the money. Yeah. So I don't know. Like at this point, speculation, right? It's really us guessing what's going on or what it is. But I'm still gonna be with George though, because was it DTK? I think it was DTK that went on some show. I can't remember what show it was, or it might have been Chris Klein. But they talked about they're in a good position to make the acquisitions that are needed if the right person comes up. So they didn't make it sound like Galaxy and AEG are in a position where they're struggling money, unlike other clubs, right? So obviously take it with a grain of salt because it's these guys saying it. We really don't know what's going on in the back end with AEG. But if that's the case, then I'm with George. Like, yo, we should have done something. And I'm with you, Rudy, that the rumor quiet, it sounds like it's quiet to me. And yeah, it's definitely disappointing. And it changes my perspectives and I guess my thoughts on what to expect here for the next, 6 games coming up.
Yeah. Just a little inside scoop. I was able to get a conversation. I had a conversation with a few people in the FO over the last week, and they made it seem like they're looking at 3-4 signings, right? Angel, you've been here before. You heard things from FO before that didn't come to fruition. So, like, I take that with a grain of salt. With that being said, though, like, every other transfer window at this point, we're linked to like 3 real ones and like 8 that are potential LAFC fucking players, or just like wild ideas, like, you know what I mean? But other than Higuain, fine. I see a chat talking about Higuain.
Fuck Higuain, though.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I discredited that, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, next.
Well,
right?
do you want to talk about that one really quick since it was a rumor?
Yeah, well, let's go.
Okay, why do you discredit it right away? I mean, I have my perspectives and my opinions on if we were to play with 2 forwards, right? But one, you know what? I'll save it. Rudy, why?
I discredit because I don't think he's an asset. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the general soccer perception of him is low because he hasn't been performing for a while, right? So it's not like you're signing a big name player that is going to attract people. So marketing wise, I don't see him being a big draw. And we're talking about the sport, like, and just him as a forward. Listen, based on what we've seen right now, like in the last 2-3 seasons, if you're comparing careers, like, are you really taking, like, Higuain over Chicha based on what we've seen in the recent times? Not everything is done just based on what we've seen in recent times. I personally wouldn't, because I'm not a fan of Higuain. I don't like he's
fat.
He's fat. I'm fat. I'm not body shaming. It's not bad, but I'm saying, like, you're a soccer player. Like,
no, but if you're a soccer player, and let's say for what it is, if you get offended, this doesn't apply to you. We're obviously talking here about a specific soccer player.
Yeah, it's so there's not a lot that I could get excited about Higuain other than Higuain's name. I mean, we said it in the.
But even then, do you get excited for it?
No,
though?
No.
I mean, he's sure at one point he was world class. Fine, fair, but that I think his final last year where I'd say he was probably still maybe, but even then I'd say maybe the last time I'd say he was good enough to be in, let's say, even our team, right, for the sake of conversation, maybe 5 years ago. To me, he's trash. He's been trash. He's been garbage for a while.
Yeah.
And if we were to bring him, it's basically adding one chubby forward to another one that's on his way to being even more chubbier. Because listen, Chicharito and that, like George I think pointed out, in that tournament didn't look in shape for shit.
I'm with the new wave. The new wave is baggy, bro. So he's just wearing baggier shirts. That's the new wave, bro.
But again, if we talk about, then that goes to my second part of the question for myself. Well, how is he going to play with Chicharito? It doesn't make sense. We're talking about 2 players that played a similar style. Because Higuain was never the big guy, the hold-up play guy. No, he was Chicharito style. That was his thing. So,
but even if we can. I'm sorry, but just to intersect for a second, like, even at that, like, his game has changed towards a facilitator a lot of times, right?
Right.
Same thing that Chicharito looks to do sometimes too, though. Like, Chicharito looks to facilitate as well, right? Like, so you're gonna have guys who are trying to facilitate each other and just.
And no one's gonna be scoring. Yeah,
exactly.
It's redundant. It's redundant. Like, it's a redundant position, and it's not worth bringing him. Yeah. At least to me, it's not. And listen, I get the, hey, let's go get South American players, and I can understand why that argument's made. Obviously the talent's there, but not in Higuain, man, not anymore. He's just like, if we talk about retirement, that's retirement.
George,
if you really want to get away from that, MLS being a retirement league, don't sign him.
George, give me your thoughts on Higuain.
I'm saying a lot of what you guys are gonna be saying. If we're gonna get people like Chicha, you need someone to give him the ball. You need someone like Higuain. You need someone to give him the ball. If you're gonna get someone of that caliber, get someone that's gonna make their own plays. Get someone that if you're really gonna dish out that money, get someone that you're gonna put up top, but can make their own plays. And the problem is we're not getting those forwards. We're getting the type of forwards that need the service to them, and that's completely fine. But if you're not getting the surrounding pieces around them, then you're doing it completely wrong. And it's crazy how we understand this. And granted, the FO has not said anything about being interested in Higuain, and obviously it's a lot of internet, a lot of the rumors, like the whole Messi thing and all that. But it's still like the fact that people would say, "Oh, this is good, this is gonna help." No, because at the end of the day, we could have 8 badass starting forwards, but if we have people like the teams that we have right now, there's who's gonna be servicing the ball. It's gonna be a whole lot of what we're seeing.
100%.
It's no.
I was at Masa. You have anything different to say about this?
No, that's spot on what I was thinking. Like, who's gonna facilitate those two players? No one.
Yeah.
So what's
And
the
even
point?
then, Logan Jones said here, Gonzalo looked okay because I'm guessing he meant to say because CR7 was a Juventus. Well, is a Juventus, but even then, man, I was like, I've watched a lot of soccer over the last few months because of COVID. Like, I didn't have nothing else to do, and I watched those games closely. He was coming off of the bench, and every time he'd score a goal, the team would run around him, and it's like if Rudy were to score for our team. On any team that we play with. Like,
You haven't seen me in the field,
Thursday,
but I got
Sundays,
magic touch. What you mean, dog?
we'd all run to him and be like, Rudy. Like, we'd be so happy for him because he scored a goal because we know it's impossible for him to score a goal.
Stop. You haven't seen the magic
So,
touch, dog.
That's exactly how the team treated Federico Higuain.
Gonzalo.
Yeah, Gonzalo. Someone wrote
I'd rather have Federico. Give me
Yeah,
listen,
right.
I wanted to get there. I wanted to get
Yeah.
there. Listen,
All right, well, point is, like, the way that they approached him, it's like that, like, oh yeah, you got it. Why? Because he missed so many fucking goals, and plus he was coming as a sub, and he would miss way more than he'd make, and he would miss easy goals. We were giving Raheem Sterling shit for that goal he missed, before we started recording here. Absolutely fair, but my man has done so much, like George, I think alluded, or Rudy alluded, this season to, hey, you know what, shit happens to him. But with Higuain, it's not. It's been an ongoing issue over the last 3 years with miss, and when he scores, the team celebrates like they fucking won a World Cup because it was him that
you
scored.
did it.
You did it. You finally did it.
Yeah.
No, that's bad.
No, I agree.
That's
I agree.
bad.
Listen, and also I hate him because he robbed Messi of a World Cup. You know what I mean? Like, he's solely robbed Messi from a World Cup in that final
Listen,
versus
this is
Germany.
a LA Galaxy podcast. We're not here to talk about Argentina because other than that, Argentina's
Wait a minute.
problem was always not playing Kun Agüero on the right times.
No,
That was their problem.
listen. We're
Exactly.
slowly becoming an Argentinian squad, so we gotta start talking about Argentinian players as well.
That's
Back off,
all.
alright?
That's all.
So does that mean we are getting Federico?
Which I hope. The hope is that Federico, not. I mean, that Higuain, not the
We're
other
getting
one.
Maradona as an assistant coach.
Stop. That's too much party in LA for that fool. All right, boys. All right. Again, I think the common thing right now is that we're a little worrisome for not hearing enough rumors, not seeing enough movements.
Well, let me ask something. Because I know we tend to usually have a general sense of what's going on across the MLS, but for some reason I just haven't been paying attention to MLS in general. Obviously with the whole COVID situation, but have there been moves in the MLS across the league in general? I mean, with other teams and like what?
Emma Boateng is in Columbus,
Yep.
Oh shit! Okay, I don't know that.
now. Mm-hmm.
And then everyone was saying we should have had him. What the fuck? I hate. Sometimes I hate going on Twitter. That shit's toxic as fuck because I get mad and I put my phone down.
Yeah. But, so what else? I mean, that's one.
Oh,
Like,
so
how many other
here-
are we talking about here?
Yeah, well, I think there's been moves, right? Listen, we could just go to fucking. I go to MLS and find out. But as I'm doing that, this is interesting. David Alba says, and it's David Alba for sure, the Bayern players that's joining our chat. So
The one that scored the own goal, dog, to
yeah. So
make
just
Barcelona look that bad.
that's how dope we are. We got David Alba in the chat. But he's saying, whole city want to sell Jordy the wish. For more than $1 million, but the Galaxy only offering $500K. What's your thoughts on that? Like, is $1 million too much?
Hell yeah, because that motherfucker has a clause on his shit that he could leave for like $500K or for nothing if they go down to third division. Fuck off. I ain't paying shit.
If that's the case for as many bucks, I'd rather bring Jorgen Shelvik back than to deal with that shit. Hey, play out your final year and whatever 18 games are left. And
Like, you gave up on the season already then? Like, completely?
yeah, I mean, might as well, dog. Fuck. If we're not signing anyone, you know what? That would even be a transfer rumor right now. Does Jorgen Shelvik come back? That's some more activity than we really talk about or need to add to, apart from the two players we just talked about.
So just to kind of answer you a little bit, from what I'm seeing just in the first segment of the transfer page they have on the MLS, it seems like a lot of in league trades happened this week.
Okay.
Where you see players going from one side to the other for either
And
like a swap deal or like
That's dope.
or within the league for Tam and Cam. So yeah, maybe not a lot of international transfers, but listen again, right? Like I think a lot of other teams have their situation a little more figured out than we do. And we're also the LA Galaxy, so I don't expect us to do a lot of smaller signings. I expect us to do like 3-4 big signings, right? That's just being honest. I think that's what I was expecting from this, right? And I expected them to be like pretty rapid fire, and I think that's why I brought it up, because I had a different expectation for what this transfer window was going to look like. Again, I had a different expectation of what the season was going to look like and this year was going to look like. So everything just letting me down. You know, I mean, nothing's going accordingly. So with that being said, no new signings. We go in this week in 5 days and play against LAFC. Now, we just played LAFC a few weeks ago, and we got our ass whooped. 6-2. It was almost Bayern Barca. We just look pathetic at points.
It was one good team against one bad team. Actually, no, same thing. You're right. It's one good team against one bad team. Same shit.
So
he to himself and that motherfucker.
Here's a question, right? And I want to go into depth about this game and what we think about this game and lineups and the whole nine. But let's just start off here. We could all agree that we looked up to par, or at least in a fight, for like 30, like for the first half. The first half, I think we
Correct.
looked into a fight.
50
Look, we're in a
minutes,
fight, right? Yeah, 50 minutes, close to 6 minutes, whatever it is, right? Like we looked like we were in a fight. Like like maybe still underdogs, but there was a fight there. It's fucking weird to say that Galaxy's underdogs. But I think
It's not though. Not right now. Not as of late.
listen, forever I'm gonna always think weird because I'm part of,
Okay.
you know,
All
I'm a
right,
fan of the
that's fair.
Galaxy.
That's
So,
fair.
so
That's
forever
fair.
I'm gonna say that. But yeah, like we're in a fight. It looked like we had the wits, we had enough there to make it a fight and try to get something out of it. Unfortunately, the last third of that game showed us otherwise, and we got shown up. Give me thoughts. Let's start this conversation about what thoughts are going into this game. Do we see the Galaxy come back out with that fight? Is there enough returning pieces a la Jonah? I know Chicha's still in the air, and we talk about that. Is there enough pieces here that gives us more to fight with? And what about LAFC? Do they have other pieces that they're gonna come out stronger as well? So let's start the conversation. Anywhere you guys want to start off, let's just go.
I'm gonna start off by saying I hope, because any team that you add Jonah Dos Santos to needs to have a better chance of what they did when they didn't have him, especially the Galaxy, because I feel that's the heartbeat of the team. I don't think he's a captain, but I feel that's the heartbeat of the team, and it's huge. Does that change the mindset of the players around them? Me speaking with a brain, I say no, just because I don't think that the team has it. But I hope that he encourages players, by the way, because one thing that we're always going to get with Jonah, especially when this team playing LAFC, he's going to come out and show out. That's 100%. And I hope that the team around him sees that and pushes for him.
Well, so interesting, right? Because I felt like they do. I mean, even in the MLS's back tournament, I feel like the boys showed a different attitude and a different fight to them in that game. Shit that we didn't see in Portland, and I don't think we saw it in Houston. But for that game,
we got this directly from a player source. Remember from that conversation I had with that person, and it's facts. They do get up for that game. That is a rivalry. That's the only game that they actually have a different type of intensity to, and it was admitted. They don't even see the San Jose game that this person didn't even know that San Jose really was a rival. Okay, so what does that tell? So basically, again, I'm right from what I said last week. 2 L's to San Jose. That's still standing. But with the whole LAFC thing, yes, I want to agree with George. I want to agree with Rudy with, hey, yeah, these guys are gonna be up for the fight and this and this and that. Great. Cool. You know who else was up for the fight and hustled? Ethan Zubak, but he's fucking garbage.
So you're saying we don't have the players to stand up with this team?
I don't think right now we don't have the fucking players to stand up to this team.
Okay.
And mostly because they're adding Carlos Vela back to their piece.
Yeah,
right.
That's huge.
That's massive. They just beat the shit out of us 6-2 with this team. Sure, they all hustled, and I feel bad for Pavon that he had 2-3 players on him, and the rest of his team instead was out there passing the ball to the back after a while, right? It just became a joke, right? And that's the issue for me, that it's more so, and I think I mentioned this at the end of the last pod. I called the draw, right? But I said depending on what happens from now to then, right? Then now as in last week to this game coming up in the transfer window, because we can't and if these guys can be ready, because it can't be that same fucking lineup, it can't be that same squad. Because even though that they played great, or they balls out for 60 minutes, then what happens when LAFC is up 3-2? We don't have players to come and be an impact and be a difference and make a change. So we can't rely on that. We have to rely on winning the game outright from the get-go with our starters, right? And what that means is we need to have Jonathan Dos Santos in there. We need to have Chicharito in there. We need to have and look, I have my beefs with Chito, and it's not necessarily him, it's the lack of talent around him, but just the name in itself. It's if you're the opposite team, you have to be aware of this guy, right? So that already adds an element of having at least two guys aware of him, and then give some space to Pavon. So that's definitely a plus. Plus, LAFC's defense is not great. They suck. They're as bad as ours, right? The difference is that we're just a subpar team to a lot of teams that they played. So, as of right now, if we're talking about Chicharito's probably not going to be available. Jonathan Dos Santos is still questionable, right? Sure, supposedly he's training with the team, but even then, are we talking about the guys that didn't play the full 90? We need these guys. They have to play in order for us to have a chance.
Listen, I hear you saying that, right? I hear you saying that, but again, I want to remind you, like, we had a chance for 60 minutes versus them.
But then what happened though, Rudy? That's what I'm getting to.
Well, so that's the thing though, right? I guess, and I want to believe that Jonah's in, like, for sure. I want to believe that, right? And again, we don't know yet. I want to believe Jonah's back, and I want to believe like Chicharito's is gonna make an effort to come back. We played them July 18th. It is August 17th. It's about a month. I know they talked about the injury being 4 to 6 weeks. So on the short term of that, like, he'll be right about the right time for him to play. I know last week there were conversations about Chicha coming back to training this week. So I'm hopeful because I think we need him. But at the same time, there was a fight there, and if they could figure. Listen, if 1 or 2 calls get called in our way, maybe that game changes, right? So I want to believe that. Masa, what do you think?
Can I have one more thing then? Listen, that's fine. Let's say these guys don't show up. I really do need this guy, Yoni Gonzalez, to be available for that game on Monday. Because if you want to make a statement, say, hey, I am this good player that I'm hoping to be, and I want to show the Galaxy fan base, what better game than to do that, right? Because we can make shift with that midfield that we have right now if we just add one winger. Listen, we can figure out with Dunbar or with Gordon Wild on top, or fine, Zubac for the sake of conversation. We have 3 guys that can play forward position, so that's not really an issue. It's it's an issue, right? But what I'm saying is, if we have that winger, I think that may make a difference. So hopefully this guy does come, because then we can figure out with something with a combination of Corona, Leggett, Kitchen, or Kleshton. Those 4 guys can definitely compete.
Let's come back. Let's come back and talk. Let's come back and talk about players, because I do want to talk what we started with last time and what we think our changes are. But just in the conversation of does the team have the fight to compete with this team, right? And again, trying to separate who we're coming out and playing with and just the general fight of the team. Masa, do you think what do you think of that fight? Is there enough to fight there with, or is it just a lost cause for you?
There's always a fight. It's a rivalry game, and the players see it like that. Like, it's never, especially with rivalry games, there's never a for sure outcome. Anything could fucking happen. So, like, I don't want to get my hopes up, but that's just how rivalries are. They're always like that. You never know who the fuck is gonna win. It's usually the team that wants it more. So if the boys show up that night that they fucking want it more, they could probably sneak in and win. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. Listen, I would pay to be a fly.
That's fair. Absolutely.
We will pay to be a fly on the wall in those talks, right? Fuck the training. I want to hear those talks. I want to see what the motivation is, or what the intent of motivation is for the players. Because
again, the bright side, we know they're motivated for the game. That's definitely the bright side, and that's across the board. Like, the players, the staff, everyone's definitely motivated and excited. And actually, it turns out that a lot of the players are now more for playing this season. I don't know if it was now that they see they're playing against LAFC, it's more of a chance to, I don't know, I guess, what would we say, make things right, or I don't know.
Well,
that's because they're home.
I don't know.
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to speak of, right? Is like, again, I wish it could be a fly, because I want to see, because listen, I understand they're going to be up for this game, right? Like I think we all alluded to that. It's a rivalry game. These guys step up for this. I want to know what the thought is going forward, though, right? Like, because again, I think I mentioned last week. I think a big statement this game could catapult them for the rest of the season, right? Where they get the traction they need. I might be super optimistic and probably a fool for that, and I'm okay with that. But this is what that looks like, right? So I would love to be a fly on the wall just to hear that motivation, to see if it goes post or more than just this game, or is it just focused on this game right now? Is your thought? Here, let's start off with this, right? Last time we played them, last month when we played them, we had Bingham at goal, we had Steris and people at center backs, Insua out right, Fulcher out left. Sorry, let's invert that. Fulcher out right, Insua out left. Corona and Kitchen in the central mid positions, with Araujo and Cuello on opposing wings. Legit as a cam and Pavon as striker. I remember for sure, like, you guys having a big problem with Pavon being a striker.
Of course.
Right, like that's the obvious one, right? But let's go through it and let's try to come up with what we think, with what's available, and we could even throw Yoni in there. Like, I skeptical of doing that, but if you guys want to, you could. But let's go through his lineup and see what we would change. Starting at goal, I don't think we have a choice. So we're sticking with Bigham back there because, again, I don't think we have a choice.
You know what the scary part about that is, though? Let's say the game is 3-3. Bingham is good for one. For one. And that's, oh my God.
Again, do we have a choice? Do we have a real viable choice? I don't think we do, right?
No,
Rudy.
Rudy.
I'm down. I mean, I'm just down. I'm down. No, but in all reality, I don't think we have a choice.
He
I
makes
hear
like
you.
400K a year or 500K. What was it? David Bingham? That's insane.
It's a lot.
For being trash? Holy crap, man. Fuck me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
Fuck.
you. I 100% agree with you. Overpaid, but we have no choice. So Bigham in the back. Bingham in goal. No doubt about that. Let's go to CBs. We started with Steris and people as center backs, with Steris being captain. Do you guys make any moves here?
Yes.
There's not being
I
captain.
gotta see Depew in there.
Four?
Depew with either to just
Either of the
any
two,
miny
yeah.
mo that shit. Like,
Yeah.
if anything, I'll give Depew and people the nod just because they started the regular season as a pairing and they looked good together in that first game against Houston. And I don't even recall the details. The only details I remember against the game against Vancouver is that we said, hey, but Depew and people looked good together in a CB role. I don't remember how the fuck we lost that game if they looked good together, but that's vivid in my mind that we said Depew and people have to be an ongoing thing moving forward. And that's what I want to see again. If you're asking me the two preferences, but at this point, is Depew with anybody. So
If a
Depew
fucking
has to
coin,
be in the
dog.
ring.
George, what do you think? So
What do I think, or what I know, or what do I want, or what I think?
either, I mean, it's answer how you feel.
What I want a DP with either or. I think it's gonna be people and stairs.
Really?
What?
I think it's gonna be
Fuck.
Depew. I want Depew. First of all, I want Depew, but I think it's gonna be Depew. And I think I'm butchering his name every time. Sorry, random thought. I think it's gonna be Depew, and I kind of want to see Steris. And I'll tell you why I want to see Steris. I think Steris last year was our most consistent center back. I'm saying that like really slowly because I'm not saying that was like he was great all the time, but he was consistent. And I would like
He
to
was
see.
consistent at being average.
Yeah. Listen, he is better than being consistently worse or bad. Like I think people was because in my opinion, I think people has been consistently bad. So I
Last
kind of
year?
yeah last year.
But
this
last year he didn't have enough run. All right, fine. fine.
Listen, based on
Whatever.
what he played, right? So I
Are
kind of
you
want to.
kidding? He fucking balled out against LAFC last year in their stadium, and he had
This
to
is my
fucking
opinion.
play out of
Cool.
position.
That's my opinion. My opinion, right? I think. So I want to see. I want to see Steris hopefully try to regain this average form of his, which is not bad. So that's where I would stand with Depew and Steris. Depew, Steris in the center back. Right, we have Fulcher. Do we make a move there? We got Traore, possibly Araujo to make a move, or do we stick with Fulcher?
I would love to see Araujo, but I already know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be Felster.
Massa George.
Maybe Felcher.
Yeah, it's
To
gonna be
to
rough.
yeah, to Felcher's defense, apart from this last game at LAFC, the previous games against LAFC, he usually has pretty decent games. So
Yeah,
we'll
and,
see.
and again, and here I must say another probably not popular opinion. I don't think Fulcher was one of the worst defenders we had in the tournament. So I'm okay with Fulcher being in right back. I'm not saying he's good, but I don't think he was the worst defender we had. So
That's
I'm
fair.
okay with I'm okay with him staying out right. Insua, I think he's a lock.
Yeah.
Do anybody have opposing thoughts on Insua being in there? So our
No.
backline would look, our backline potentially would look like Bingham, people, Dupuy with either people or Steris. We have mixed opinions about that. Felcher and Insua, although a couple of you guys wouldn't mind seeing a change there, but we think it's going to be Felcher. Now let's talk about that midfield. Our two center midfields, right? Jonah,
Has
right?
to
I
be.
think we'll lock him in. He's taking one of the central midfield positions. Yes.
We hope so. If he plays, yeah.
And then who are we pairing him up with? Who do you think
Joe
is the best
Benny.
pair?
Joe
No,
Benny,
fuck that.
hands down. Joe
No.
Benny, hands
Joe
down,
Benny?
dog.
It,
All right,
I-
Must say
I-
Joe
I-
Benny.
Against
yeah,
Levas.
it's fine.
Jonas is Joe Benny.
If Jonathan's playing, then Sebastian Leggett, no question about it. Something about Leggett and Jonah's connection, they seem to play really well together. And I don't know if their chemistry is just above the roof, compared to everyone else. But when they're together, Sebastian Leggett looks like a different player. Put Sebastian with anyone else or be the man in the middle, he can't handle that. But if you let Jonah be the man and he's going to support Jonah, he does that shit fine all day, every day. So if Jonah's in the picture, I want Sebastian Leggett.
George, what's your thoughts on this? Where
Joe
you
Benny.
Joe
I'm
Benny.
going with Joe Benny.
And interesting, I'm going Leggett. I'm going Leggett because I think what Angel's saying is accurate.
But are we playing with an attacking midfielder, or we're talking?
No.
Or we're playing
So
with
I
those
think
two?
I think we're playing attacking midfielder. I think we're playing.
So
but I'm talking about
my
the center mid.
triangle. Oh, center mid will be Joe Benny
And
and
Jonah?
Leggett, and I think Joe Benny and Jonah and Leggett in front of them.
Okay, see, I agree with Angel where I think he plays best alongside Jonah in a deeper role. I think he plays best.
I agree with that. That's 100% accurate.
But you want to see Benny instead of.
But who
of
the
Leggett.
fuck is gonna play Cam?
Well,
I'd rather take my chances with Preston, man.
So again, right? Let's worry about that. Let's worry about that center mid, and then I mean we'll obviously move into our second third. But I agree with Angel. I think we get the best out of Leggett when he's paired right next to Jonah, because that connection right there, it's a bromance, heavy bromance going on right there. So
Yeah.
they feel themselves. So I agree with that. But for argument's sake, we all have Jonah being locked in the middle, and either paired up with Corona or Leggett at this point. Cam position, right? We have at this point, I think we could Efra, Sasha. Who else is there? Anybody else we could throw out there in the Cam?
I mean, you could throw out
Okay.
Joe Benny, and we talk about, hey, these guys are going to play more in a rotational 3 as opposed to you're set as a cam, you're set as a CDM, you're set as a true CM. If we're talking about, hey, they just rotate with each other, I mean, that could work. Listen, Joe Benny got us a penalty because he was attacking in the game. Was it against Houston or was it against Portland? I can't remember which one. Whatever PK
I
he
think
ended up getting for us.
it was.
The one that
This was,
Pavon made.
LAFC.
Oh, it was that one, right? Okay, yeah, that was Pavon's PK, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, okay. And
No, that was set up by
happened-
Dunbar.
No.
No,
Yeah,
it was set up
just
by
It was
Cuello.
Joe Benny Corona got fouled in the box as he pushed up and he.
Oh, maybe.
he made a dangerous play.
I
So
think, yep.
so again, he can do it, but if you're asking me, obviously that's where I promise we lack a true cam, right? So I prefer to see maybe a rotational. If we're gonna have Joe Benny Corona in there, it's like some type of rotational thing where they understand each other's roles. When someone's playing the cam, well, which two are sitting back, and that's communication, right? Where it. And listen, all three of them have bromance in themselves. So
Yep.
if they can communicate and say, hey, well, it's going to be like this and I'm going rotation, that could work. That could definitely work.
I actually give a nod to Joe Benny as well in the cam position, because I did like what I saw. I did like what seen there. He could lay a good pass.
Yeah.
He plays with his head up a lot, which I like. Right, like he has control of the ball and looks up. And I mean, a cam position, that's exactly what you need, right? Backing you up with that chemistry that those three have. I think they could play that like Joe Benny and Jonah are smart enough to recognize positioning, and if Leggett lets go and he gets to attacking third, which I hope he does at one point in his fucking life. I hope he gets fucking the balls to try to attack. Joe Benny's smart enough to recognize that. But Joe Benny has also fucking had the balls to step up and dribble the ball and take a dribble to open up some space, right? So, because I don't want to lose Jonah, because wow, I can say the same about Jonah, but exactly. I can say the same about Jonah, but I want Jonah like laying further down.
Holding that shit down.
So I would take Benny in the cam position, as obscure as it might sound, and with having Sasha in your back pocket too, because I think if you give Sasha 30 minutes at the end, he can do something for you.
Yeah, and just to those again, gonna readdress this. We understand that these guys are not camp players, so I'm not asking Joe Benny Corona to fucking be a Sebastian Blanco for me. No, I'm not. But it's a lot of what Rudy said. Are you smart with the ball? Are you picking your head up? Can you just shout a simple pass? And again, it's unfortunate the game against Houston, where he slid where he did. And again, I'm still not gonna give him that shit. It's to me, I'm big him. But he had a smart game. And I think Massa talked about it. He didn't do anything wrong in that game. Why? Because he plays smart.
Yeah.
And if he can do that in the camera, listen, even if he does some shit where he loses the ball, at least he loses in the attacking half. That's okay. So then you have Sebastian behind you. Then you have Jonathan behind you who can be that first line of defense. And then you have your second line of defense. And then you obviously have a trash can. So that's that, and I'll take my chances with Joe Benny in that role.
Yeah. George, thoughts on the camp position?
I'm going with Joe Benny and Jonah in the back, and Sebastian and the Jet playing cam.
Yeah. Again, listen, I guess my biggest problem with the Jet playing cam is that he doesn't turn and go. Like, I don't think it's so rare for him to turn and go, or even to turn. Right, like his initial thought is always like lay off pass to the side or to the back, and I
agree.
We're not gonna create anything with that type of mentality. I'm super hesitant for that. But we'll see. So
Logan Jones said Efrain Alvarez as a 10. He played it once and he did good. Listen, that's questionable. I continue to have my same concerns about Efrain Alvarez, that his game just keeps going backwards instead of going forwards. I don't really see a progression that people are claiming that's there. I kind of feel like he's plateaued and everyone around him has improved except for him.
That's accurate.
I think in this specific game, I'd rather take my chances with the guys that I already know what they're going to give me than as opposed to wondering, shit, what can he give me in that attacking role, right? If we're talking about a winger, fine. I'll take my chances with a winger. Fuck it. But we need to create in this game. If we're going to be a LAFC, we have to create. And we can't take our chances with can he do it? No, I'd rather take my chances with a proven player. Again, we don't really have a true camp anyways as it is, but I'll take my chances with a Joe Benny Corona who's experienced and has been around the block, has won championships in other places, and has not been bad for us.
Yeah.
Listen, I honestly believe that the Efra's position is the cam position, but he's not up to par right now, right?
Overrated.
Facts to me.
Listen, you're starting to sell me.
Raheem Sterling. 2.0.
Stop.
Overrated.
I wish. Shit, I wish.
Give me Raheem Sterling.
Okay, so that takes us to the wing role. What are we talking about on the winger?
So we started.
Pavon.
Hold on.
Pavon.
Can I set this up? Can I set this up?
I
Let me
ain't
set this up for
angel,
you guys. Last game we had Cuello and Araujo. Last game we had Cuello and Araujo. I just repeated that so you know that wasn't a mistake. We had Cuello and Araujo out wide. I think lock him in right now. Pavon out right.
Pavon. Yep.
Pavon out right. Like we
Out right?
Pavon on any side.
Okay.
Listen,
Any side, doesn't matter.
no,
yes.
fuck that. No. Depends on if you, George, you want him to do and take on players and do that and be, create crosses and shit like that, then yes, on the right. If we want him to be an additional threat to score goals, then we want him on the left. So
Then
it
I want
depends
him.
on what you,
Then I want him on the right. Then I want
Okay.
him to take on the players 1-on-1 and have the defense scramble, because that's the best option that we could get for Chicha.
but that's assuming he plays. I don't think he plays.
okay.
I think Chicha
But
plays.
there you go.
Okay.
So it's fair. So
My bad. So
so-
Pavon on the right if Chicha plays. If he doesn't, put him on the left.
Okay. That's fair.
listen,
I'm good with that.
Let's do this, right? Pavon is a lock in one wing.
Easy.
Yes.
Either one. He's a lock in one wing, right?
That fool's washed. But yeah.
Who's joining him in the opposing wing? Who
Cameron Dunbar.
Listen, I think everyone here is gonna say Cameron Dunbar, but is it gonna happen though?
It's gonna be Araujo. I want Cameron Dunbar, bro. It's gonna be Araujo, bro.
I have feelings it's gonna be Araujo again too.
Here's my tinfoil hat theory, right? Did you guys see that they dropped a video today on Dunbar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of pushing him. They're pushing him out there, right? They're kind of doing the whole almost effort thing where like they're kind of putting him out there so people can see him. I think he gets to not this game. I think that I think it's I think that's why they're doing that.
That's tinfoil as fuck.
Okay, well, I hope that shit works, Rudy. If it does, fuck, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
I
Cameron
think-
Dunbar, I'm in on that. If we don't get our Yoni
There you go.
our Yoni Gonzalez to be Yoni Gonzalez, to me should not be even a question. That's what we did. We went to go sign this guy to be a starter. You put him right away from the get go. Fuck the chemistry. We don't have it anyway, so
No, I agree. Like that was my caveat, right? So for me, it's Dunbar, right? And I get tempo high theory. I think they're trying to push him out there to give him FaceTime so people can recognize him. But
He did as much FaceTime that he did with one game in the fucking tournament.
yeah, but you would assume that, right? You would assume that, but with our fans, you know. So
aliens.
I think I think it's Dunbar unless we get Yoni, and then we get Yoni, then it's Yoni, obviously. Massa, George, you guys have any thoughts on that?
No,
kind of
I'm going
thing,
with Dunbar.
Massa,
I'm going Dunbar, dog. I just like the thought of having Araujo out right again is
It's not.
man.
Hey,
The
man,
thought that
listen,
having-
doesn't work.
listen. The reason why I don't want Araujo all right is the same reason why you defended Araujo and Cuello last time, because of the tactics that we're gonna put behind them, and I can't fuck with that playing this team.
No, I agree. But listen, if worst comes to worst, it's Araujo. I'll tell you this much: that kid's gonna fight. Because I've seen it.
I mean, so does
I see.
Dunbar.
Yes,
No,
he's
yeah,
gonna fight,
yeah.
but the instructions he's gonna get if Massa is correct,
No, no,
is not the formula for us to win this game.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right.
Yep.
And I think the worst case scenario for us is Araujo playing there. I think at best, like, he's gonna kick people and he's gonna get kicked and he's gonna go in for everything. And that's the best we could hope for because it's not a lot of bright side him playing out wide for me. Here's the tricky one though, right? We're hoping Chicha's back. We're hoping Chicha's back, and if Chicha's back, and then it's a done deal. Chicha plays up top, right? Like, easy. But what if he's not?
If
What if
he's not,
What if he's not?
Shoot me
Does
now.
he-
if Ethan Zubak starts this game, I will genuinely question. You know what? I'm gonna jump on the
GBS out?
should we be getting rid of GBS out now type of shit. Like I'll definitely start leaning a little bit more to the GBS outside, because man, you just saw his fucking performance in that game where he couldn't even get one fucking goal out of all the chances that he had. He looked subpar. He was pathetic, garbage, trash. Insert all the other synonyms that go with Bigum, and there you go. There's your Ethan Zubak. That's what that was.
Here,
If
let me-
Chicha's out,
So
throw everything out of the window because Zubak's not starting.
So
We're-
here,
we-
here-
we
hold
rather
on, hold on,
put-
hold on.
we rather-
Gordon Wild.
listen,
It should
we're
be
Let me set
Gordon
this up.
Wild.
No,
Let me
not
set
even
this-
that.
Let me set this up for you guys. Let me set this up for you guys, right? Ideal scenario. We have Bingham. A goal. Again, it's ugly to say. We have Dupuy and either Aris or people playing center back with him. Insua and Fletcher as our fullbacks. A combination of Jonah, Benny, and Leggett in the midfield. Pavon in one wing. Ideal scenario, it's Yoni or Dunbar. And on top, we have Chicharito. Okay? Here's the question. If Chicharito's not available, does all that go away, or are we just looking for a forward?
Oh no,
Go.
we
No,
don't.
we
We
need
no.
forward.
There's no way that the way that we've seen GBS coach up to now. If there's a fucking forward that's out, we're putting a winger, we're putting a midfielder as a forward out of position, and then we're scrambling all around, and then we have an excuse to lose, and it's so stupid. Obviously, but I get his hand. He's gonna be playing with Wild and Zubak. You don't put that. I'd rather put Leggett up there. The way that
That's-
GBS is coaching, I would not be surprised if he puts Leggett up there.
Masa, give me your thoughts. If Chicha's not,
George makes a valid
hold on,
point, which is why I said my statement.
let me hear from Masa real quick. Masa, if Chicha's not there, does that lineup stay the same? Does the formation stay the same? What do you think happens?
Formation stays the same, dog, because GBS doesn't play anything else. He
Okay.
plays 4-3-3.
So talk to me. What
Um,
happens?
I either throw Wild up top because Subak is trash, and I throw Wild on the wing, or swap Dunbar up top. Either or, one of those two is playing striker.
So you think we stay same formation? We just kind of adjust
Right, 'cause-
Dunbar or Wild.
It's either Wild goes up top, or they fucking switch during game. They rotate during game. You go wing, I go forward. Blah blah blah.
Angel, close this out for me. Tell me what you think about this. If Chicharitos is not
Gordon Wild.
available, what's going on?
Gordon
What's going
Wild.
on? All right, give me more than just
It
Gordon
has
Wild.
to be Gordon Wild.
What
It
happens
has
though?
to be.
It has to be Gordon Wild. And again, if it's not Gordon Wild, after that decent performance that we saw from him, we saw an entire garbage ass game from Zubac. Entire game.
Okay.
You know what? It was like 100 minutes that he played.
Hold on. Let
We
me
saw-
let me stop you for a second. Let me stop for a second. The question was, if Chicharito's not there, do we just swap in Wild, Dunbar like Masa said?
Yeah.
Or
Masa
do you
is
switch more players
No,
out?
Masa is accurate. That's
So-
what it is.
Your answer is Wild as
Wild.
striker.
Yep.
Interesting. You want to be fucking honest with you? I have no idea, man. Because like,
You don't.
no.
You know
So
what?
I think
George may. I think it's more likely that George's scenario happens, and if that happens, we're gonna have to, as a collective. And I know we've said valid points on why GBS should stay, but if that happens, then we have to start really questioning more so. And it's that not necessarily because people think he's trash. It's those type of tactics, right? It's that because then we really have something to really address and really talk about. Okay, well, look at this. This is terrible. This is bad coaching. Right, not because of what people feel lately. It's happening that the GPS out currently only stands on two things. One is his the lack of substitutions, and the fact that people don't know if it's GBS or Gustavo that's doing it. Apart from that, no one has anything else to say.
Yeah.
But if that happens, then we really have to question it because Gordon Wild had a good 30 minutes or whatever he played, so he deserved more, right? And same thing with Cameron Dunbar. They deserve more. Now, if they look terrible in this game, then that's fine. But you gave Zubac 100 fucking minutes, scored one fucking goal, and he couldn't even do that.
Not only that, GBS wanted to sign Gordon Wild. It wasn't. He was on trial, so you brought him in, then fucking let him play.
well, see that's again right. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. Don't fucking murder me for throwing this. Starting talks points out. Don't murder me for this, but. Angel saying you start questioning him, but don't you question him if Dunbar and Wild come out and they perform poorly? Don't you question him at that point for even starting
no,
them?
you don't,
no,
because
not
that's
at
their role. They're forward striker. That's their role. If they end up being trash, then they end up being another Zubac, and then we're gonna keep talking about our academy forward suck, and this is gonna add to the line of Ari Lassiter and McBean and Ethan Zubacs, that are to what we've been saying that they're not. We can't produce a capable LA Galaxy striker because of what it demands, and that's fine. But at least we get to see it from a player that's supposed to be a forward, not someone who's a center midfielder and Sebastian Leggett playing forward. That's way different.
Do you take those risks with the uncertainty of the season in the league right now? I mean, we have 6 games confirmed.
I mean, you should because you don't have anything else. This is what you have to play. This is the season right now, and you're gonna fucking gamble again with Zubac, which didn't perform for you. You're gonna put someone else to at least try to fucking do something that you haven't seen yet. Maybe this guy will give me something. Then when he plays all his cards, then he could be like, "Yo, what the fuck? I don't have the players to make this fucking team work. Give me something better."
Yeah,
Because this is not gonna work.
and I'll tell you my thoughts. Right, I think you guys are spot on. I want to see Wild and I want to see Gordon out there, and I want to see him make mistakes, right? Because I think these guys showing no potential that they warrant a fucking start, right? Not only that, the energy level both of those guys have shown when they've been on the pitch for limited as it's been, that energy is lacking in the team with our starting 11, right? Who should be our starting 11? Like, we're missing that energy. I mean, other than Pavon, and we even saw how Pavon, his levels went down throughout that tournament because he was playing 90 minutes on that humid or whatever. We seen the energy those two boys could bring, and I really want to see them out there. At the same time, I'm a little hesitant because of the importance of the next 6 games, right? I think we touched on it last week how these 6 games are going to determine a lot of what the rest of the season is, and a lot of what the Galaxy is, in this era. Like, we can't figure it out if we can't turn the ship around right now. All right, so we got the player talk out the way. Let's talk a little bit about what we expect to see in the game. And again, listen, I know this conversation is going to be a little weird. because we haven't seen these guys play consistently, and what we have seen is really bad. So it's kind of hard to kind of look for an upside and give us opinions on what we need to do to win. But let's just give general thoughts on what do you think this game looks like. Negative, positive, whatever you guys want to take. Let's just talk about like what do you expect to see in this game.
It's going to be a shootout.
Think so?
It's going to be a high-scoring game. Both defenses are trash. Might get a couple goals from Pavon. No, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, dog. To be honest with you, it's unpredictable. It's an unpredictable game. Everyone says it's gonna be a L. Yeah, shit might not even happen, bro. So
yeah, I hear you. I think because it's a rivalry game and because like Angel, has mentioned it and kind of confirmed, the boys are up for this game, right? Like they really want this game because they feel the rivalry. I mean, maybe as they should feel the rivalry. So we know they're gonna be up for it. Again, the season being so out of whack as it is, it's kind of hard to predict what the actual gameplay is. But I agree with you. I think Masa's right. I think it's probably gonna be a shootout because as Angel kind of harps on it all the time, they have shit defense too, right? So it's like we're gonna let some goals in and hopefully we can find out the opportunities to put some goals in ourselves. I think one thing that I'm hoping for is having a full squad, meaning Chicharito and Jonah like definitely playing there for like the 90 minutes or 80 minutes or whatever it is, because I think that kind of leaves no excuses in the table, right? Because you have the players now see what you could do. Angel, George,
Listen, it goes all out the window. Just
closer to Mike.
It is a rivalry game. I don't see it going in our favor because just as we saw in the last game, sometimes they do play with 12 players, meaning the ref. Obviously, the league has an agenda in these games. It's obvious where that agenda lies. But I don't want to sit here and say, oh, the refs are going to take this game away from this and that. We got to come out and play, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a high-scoring game. And a lot of what Mata said, both of the teams have trash-ass defense. It's just who could capitalize more on their chances.
Yeah.
And if they could capitalize on their chances, that's the thing.
Yeah. And before Angel, I kind of want you to wrap up this. What should we expect? Talk. Chat. Go ahead and hit us up on the chat right now. Your thoughts, and we'll kind of share those as we go. Angel, the floor is yours. What are you expecting? What do you think we should expect from this game?
I just expect Jonathan Dos Santos to play. If Jonathan Santos can play, he has the ability. He's good enough to annoy the opposition's center midfielders. If he can do what he did to LAFC when we tied him, was it 2-2, was it? Or whatever game it was, when he went over there and talking about his balls and, grabbing his balls and shit like that.
3-3?
Yeah, the 3-3 game. Yeah, the 3-3 game. If he can replicate that and do it here at home, I think that's the next factor is because if you can frustrate them and they start hitting you and you can, at some point the ref has to give out cards to them, right? Has to. There's certain things that can be too blatant not to call, right? If he can do that, but my question is if he's gonna be even in the fucking field. I think he's gonna be the X factor to me in this game. If he plays, there's a good chance that we are definitely gonna be. Even if we lose, it probably won't be a blowout, right? Like it was the last game. He's to me the X factor. We need to have Jonathan Santos in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's a good sign to see him in practice. So I'm hoping it is. But I agree. I 100% agree. I think George is saying it is a heartbeat, and I think when he performs well, like he is, like he could dictate the game for us. If he's not checked out, because we've seen him check out before. If he's not checked out, like he could dictate the game for us. And I think because it's LAFC, he won't be checked out this game. Glenn just says, I just want them to fight for 90 minutes.
Accurate.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So let me ask you that, right? Like, fight for 90 minutes. I think that's spot on. Well, I don't want to see them like not give up after a Coutinho goal or two. But what else? Like, give me what do you guys want to see from the team?
I want to be physical.
Punch him in the mouth early, and don't be afraid because you're gonna get punched back. That's the key. Because we did that with them in the first game. We punched them in the mouth early. We got goals. but then we kind of got shook when they started scoring. And I think that's not the mindset that you need to have, especially if you have young players out there. Because if you have young players out there, your demeanor and everything that you got is going to translate onto them. So that's huge. And yeah, if and Angel's going to touch on it, so I'll let him touch on it a little bit more. But be physical. I need that. I need you to. I need to see as if we're losing, at least you're still fighting.
Yeah, 100%. No heads down. No fucking. You know.
Hey, no bitch shit. Man, the fuck up.
No, that's true. Listen, that's
Hey,
one
stop
thing
being a
LAFC.
bitch.
That's one thing LAFC is not good at, and they'll hate to admit it or whatever, but it's true. If you play with them physically, they can't. They can't. It's if you give them the time to start controlling the game the way that they want to move the ball around, which they can. They're obviously the better team. You need to play dirty. Fuck it. Play the Cholo way. It is what it is. You got to win. Fuck playing beautiful. It's about winning the fucking game. At the end of the day, you need those 3 points.
TDM resale
Or
says
1 point, right?
TDM resale says GB is going to counterattack. He can't afford another blowout. And I think that kind of goes to what you're mentioning, like even if it's ugly, even if it's bunkering down and then hitting them in a fast counterattack led by
But-
Pavon.
But do we really want to play a counterattack with the type of defense that we have?
See, but to counter that, and fair point. If you have Pavon on one wing, if you have Dunbar on the other wing, and if we play with Gordon Wild up top, which he's clearly quick. I mean, we've seen him. He's a fast dude. Those 3 guys in the counterattack, I'll take my chances there.
Agree, but then that's we're alluding to the point where they're not going to do much defending.
Right, but then that's what I'm saying. Jonathan Dos Santos to me is the X factor. He knows how to take that. He knows how to handle that type of pressure. And if you have legit with him in that role, and even Joe Benny comes back, Joe Benny has shown that he's not a pushover. He looks a little small or whatever, but he's tough. He can.
knows
The
that
key
can
to
tackle it.
counterattack,
Yeah, he can
the
put
key
a
to counterattack is having a midfielder that could connect it, and I don't think we have that.
You don't. So in that I disagree with, right? Because I think if anybody we're looking for that to do that is gonna be deep Jonah out wide to Pavon, and Pavon just goes off to the races with a trailing Chicha in the back, and that's the key for a counterattack.
Well, I don't think Chicha again. Fine, but even then, if we're doing that, if we're talking about that counter, sure. Let's say that happens, right? Jonathan does dish it off to Pavon. If Gordon Wild's making his run, guess who should be coming that second post, the back post? Dunbar should be running in that back post.
But
One of two
listen,
has to
because you guys, I mean, what I just said right now is what happened with Pavon to Zlatan, right? And fuck, one of the games we played at Stank, where Pavon gets out wide and then just draws back to Zlatan. And I think, like I said, because I don't need Chicharito to be the one carrying the ball up. I just need him to fucking be the one coming in close to the top of the box, right? Or Wild, and then the second ball to Dunbar if needed. All that. All right, boys. I think last week we all said
Apparently, Atuesta is going to be out. David Lava says also, by the way, LAFC will be missing Atuesta, who dominated the midfield against us.
That's good for us.
yeah, it is good for us.
Answer there.
I think last week we said draws and victories. I think I had a dub, and most of you guys had draws. If I remember correctly, do you guys want to change that at all? Are you guys still thinking draw? Are you thinking L's? You thinking victory?
Draw.
What are you thinking?
3-3.
Masa, what do you say?
I'm going draw.
Draw. What's the scoring line look like?
I'm going to say, fuck, it's because... Fuck it, I'll go with the draw. I'll just say the draw because these guys, they get up for the game, and
What's the
I
score
still don't think Chia plays. I say it's 2-2.
Listen, Eddie Campos just joined back in the chat and said no Chicha Saturday. Can't confirm ish. So we see. Listen, I know Thursday they have a media day, so I'm hoping we can hear some answers by then on Thursday.
Fuck Chicharito, he's fucking trash.
I'm going for the. I still think we'll manage. We'll figure out a dub and we'll do 3-2. That might be crazy. And just to kind of read the chat real quick, it says Logan Jones. He just puts a capital L. Glenn goes for a draw, 4-4 draw. Alex Bass I say they finally get the right crosses to Chicha. He scores 1, but Lavas beat us 3-1.
Oh, that's already goes out the window because Chicha's not playing. So you wrong. That means we're winning.
Listen, confirm-ish.
3-1.
Thursday, I think Thursday will be it. David Alba says, I say we win, we get our revenge. 8-2 dub. Now, he's a Bayern fan, so I see why he says that. Cool. Listen, I again, for this kind of weird podcast for us to kind of break down this game because it is, right? Like, we're just
Well,
going to
it's
kick it
also
back.
hard because we don't have our confirmations.
Yeah.
Who's going to play? I mean, usually we do the tailgate podcast on Thursdays after the to the press conference, right? Once
Yeah.
we know all this stuff, but it's unfortunately we.
Or there's just more of a rhythm that we could pick up on what's gonna happen right now.
Yeah, which is
starting
fair. Which is fair. But again, a lot of signs point to no Chicha and yes, Jonathan, and hopefully Yoni gets here. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And just to kind of finish off the chat, Brian Mireles 3-3 draw, and Victor Solarzano. Wow, I'm sorry for butchering your last name. 3-3 draw. With that being said, we're gonna wrap up this game preview. George, did we get questions today?
Yeah, we did.
For sure. Let's get into some questions and wrap
All
the
right.
show up.
Starlords96 says, "Who's taking the final, Starlords or Effort?"
Hey man, listen, it's a good final because the effort started off real strong and kind of faded away while Starlords was the opposite way, right? Where they were a little shaky at first and they went up. But that happens Thursday 10 p.m. I'm sure we'll retweet what the link is. Good luck to both of them.
Fuck both of them. How about that? All right. C-Sand07 said, "Taylor Twellman as a coach or nah?" Fuck you.
Fuck no.
So, listen, Chris is wild because he's always hyping them up. And I thought he was trolling, but now I think he might be like real with it. I don't know. Weird ass Chris though. Weird ass Chris.
Freddie Withone says, "Would y'all like Trini to do what Junie did and come back later on the squad?"
Man, I just wish he wouldn't have left, bro. You seen him recently?
Fucking Trinig's on fire right now.
And he looks good, dog. He looks good, dog.
Good. That's crazy. He looks in shape the whole night. Fuck.
Oh, fucking
I like it.
Oh my god, but no, man, no more
2 weeks when
Trini.
we're talking about his knee blowing out, we'll be like, "Oh, okay, no, never mind."
Listen, maybe so. Maybe
All right.
so.
MOGG
I mean,
says,
we don't have Chicha right now, right? And everybody was slurping him up. So fuck out, we're here with that shit.
I mean, she's just been here months compared to Danny's years.
Drini's first year, he played his whole first full year, and he was productive.
And he balled.
So Chicha
And we
pulled
got
his
last place?
fucking Chicha pulled his dick, and he can't even fucking play.
But it
We got
wasn't a
last
dream.
place.
But we wasn't a dream.
Well, right now we're last place too. So
Wasn't that on Chicha then?
with the
not a
difference,
Chicha.
shit.
All right. MOG Cheesy 127 says, "Not a question. Miss you guys. We miss you too."
Same, dog. Hey, big
Hey,
shout out to you for staying sober.
Keep going.
dog.
Keep it going. Edwin08 says, "Are you guys renewing your season ticket memberships?" I can
Already
confirm
did.
that today I did not.
Or did not.
Yeah, what? What was it?
He did
Are
not
you
renew.
guys renewing your season ticket memberships?
I am.
I did already too.
I don't have season tickets.
I did not. Animal Brew Co says, "Is there a way to review the whole organization from top to bottom?" Yeah, we're all fucking trash.
Including the podcast.
Yeah.
And we're at the top. All right, next. Chris Tucker. Shout out Chris. Given Hernandez's likely injury status to start the season, do you still advocate a formation change, or do we need to stick to the 4-3-2-1 due to the limited number available positions? It's what I've been thinking about lately.
Man, the problem is the roster. Because even if you start thinking about new formation, the problem is the roster.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do with the roster you have? Right? I think the closest thing to it.
and let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right, for a sake conversation, let's say we do go a 4-4-2, the conventional 4-4-2. Right, what is that looking like? We let's just say the same four in the back, and unfortunately the same goalkeeper. But then we can talk about, okay, well, Jonathan and Corona, and then we're talking Sebastian Lletget on the wing. Is that what you guys want? We see that keeps drifting into the middle.
I'll
So
put Jet on
that's-
one wing, I'll put Dunbar on the other wing, and I'll put Pavon and fucking Chicha up top.
If that's the case, I'd rather keep Pavon on the wing, and then I'll put Dunbar up top with Chicharito.
I'll take that too.
I just don't, but I don't like that. Do you guys like that? I mean, is that,
But even then, for the
I don't
most
like
part,
any.
it's still the same
I don't like
It's a
any
bad
formation
move.
that we put up.
hey,
It's a
listen,
bad move.
I think what I was saying is, like, I think because of the roster, the formation we play right now is
It's
probably where we're gonna
irrelevant.
get the best. Probably where we're gonna get the best out of the players that we have. Until we have like different roster, changing formation is kind of, in my opinion, out the window.
All right.
I mean, let me think about that a little bit more, because then we don't really have to focus on having a cam, which is where our weakness is, right? If we play a style, let's say a traditional 4-4-2, where we do have the Jet on the wing, where we have Pavon on the wing, it's just true two CMs playing in that CM role, right? And then you have 2 4. Now that I think about it more, I'll probably take that because we don't have a cam. We just had a conversation about, we're playing Joe Benny Corona or let's say even a Jet in that cam role because we don't have a cam player. So now I think about it more, actually that would make sense if we just go that 4-4-2 because then we don't have to. Okay, that's your opinion. But my opinion
I don't
is
either.
we don't have to worry about having a cam player when we have two CMs to do their job.
You know where the hole there is, that our current players can find a pass to our forward, right? And I think when you eliminate that piece that's supposed to be connecting them, and I get it, like it's a flawed piece, like eliminating that, I think it will lead to less chances of them finding a
And
forward.
do a 4-1-3-2.
Maybe. Yeah, listen, again, any way you spin it, I think the roster is what handicaps any kind of fucking formation, even this formation. Like I think it handicaps this formation. My opinion.
All right. Next question comes from Glenn with 1N121. To get dubs, we're going to need goals. Who needs to step up and contribute?
Everyone.
Everyone. Listen,
Unless
anybody in the
somebody-
attack, anybody in the
it's-
second,
it-
third.
It's a dull
Yeah.
question. It's a dull answer, but everyone, yeah, everyone is somebody.
I mean, listen. Last year, what was the stupid percentage that Zlatan accounted for goals? It was like 75%
49%.
I thought it was 51.
or
I
something.
thought
Whatever
it
it
was
was.
something like that.
I thought it was 100%.
It's. I mean, it felt that way, right? Like, I mean, so it's not a this season. This was fucking reoccurring thing.
All right. Eddie Riva says, any word on how close Danilo Costa is to coming back? I even forgot we had Danilo Costa.
Oh, word.
Well, he was in an interview, and I didn't watch the interview, so I don't know if he mentioned anything about it. But shit, listen, it
Clearly
was
we're doing
it was
all of
it
our
was a
work here,
torn
boys.
ligament, so they said he'd be probably back for playoffs, and that would mean they would have been around. Playoffs usually start what September, late
Yeah,
September, early
something like that.
October, right? Because season ends in November now.
Yeah.
We're still out.
Listen,
So just by that, he should still be out. I mean, he probably should be already in like the rehab stages, but by no means probably still another month or so we've seen him out on the field.
also just to remind you guys, he was brought in to be like a backup, dog. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I get it,
Especially
more
now
bodies.
with Emiliano here. So
Yeah.
I get it, bodies, but like, I'm not looking for him to be a savior.
No, we're not looking for defensive bodies. We have talked about having options defensively. Sure, they're not the best, but that's not where we're struggling for bodies.
All right. Ramiro wants to know from 1 to 10, how did LA manage Lassiter's development? 10. We did all we could.
I brought that
Who?
question.
Sorry?
Lassiter.
From 1 to 10, how did LA manage Lassiter's development?
Yeah, that. I mean, they gave him opportunities, and he was trash.
I question it, and I kind of want to see
Really?
what happened. Yeah, I
He
question
played
it.
against King.
we let him go at what 23 years old, dog. He's fucking too old.
No, for the rest of the world, but this is MLS, dog. This is MLS.
Come on,
You gotta always
dog.
remember that. Like, I
Like
understand
as
what you're
fuck.
saying.
How old is Aronson from Philadelphia?
Okay, cool.
How old
Mention-
is Chris Mueller from Orlando, dog? Come
Okay,
on,
cool.
dog.
Mention two.
Come on, dog.
Come on, where's the list at? You mentioned 2 players right now.
I don't know any more relevant.
No, it's the MLS, bro. It's the MLS. Most of these kids are
Exactly.
college kids. They're not.
I don't
developing
know,
the
man.
same
Alfonso
rates.
Davies, Tyler Adams. I
Cool.
don't know, dog.
and those are worldly players who are not playing in the MLS anymore. So I'm not saying he's that
Exactly.
at all. I'm not saying he's that at all. But I'm saying, like, look at what we have
Exactly.
right now. We have Subak on the table right now. Would Leicester be a better look? I don't know. Right? I'm just questioning it. I don't want to rate it because I don't know where it's at. To be quite honest.
All right, that's it.
That's it for questions. Dope. Before we head off, I just kind of want to give a couple shout outs to some of the pro club leagues. The final for Liga Galaxia, the Xbox leagues, is Thursday at 10 p.m. Follow them at Liga Galaxia _. Liga G96 is having their World Cup, and that starts tomorrow. That seems like a really fun thing to do, and they're splitting up the players based on their nationalities or the parents'
Damn,
nationalities.
I gotta call out to La Selecta.
You know what I mean?
La Selecta, mo.
I'm playing for the Guatemalan side of things.
Hey,
Pate peor.
you know, it's funny because for both of you, that ain't saying much.
Listen, again,
I always said I was capable enough to play for La Selecta.
Listen,
Um,
you peasants go. I'm going with my French players. I'm
George
French.
is in the World 11 because somewhere down his bloodline he's French apparently. But big shout out to the leagues, yo. I know Cosmos just ended up being chance for Liga G96, so shout out to them. Oftentimes, if you're into gaming at all, I think
Acatela.
if you're into gaming at all, these are fun leagues to watch. So check them out on Twitter. Any other shout outs? Do we have any other shout outs?
Oh yeah, shout out to Mosaic 1781. I know they just released all their stuff today, so go give them a shout out. Go give them a follow on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah,
And for people who don't know whom they are.
There you go. That shut you. There it is. Go. I set it up for you.
No,
I want you to talk.
I ain't talking about that.
So they are a supporters group for the new. I might butcher this. The NWSL
SL.
League. Yeah. So it's they're a supporters group for the women's league that came to the women's.
No, for the
team in
women's
LA.
team.
The women's team that came to LA.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm following. I'm trying to see what they're about.
Yep.
So I'll
I'm
check them
following
out.
too.
Dope. Shout out to the Air Force. Big no shout to the Clippers.
Fuck the Clippers.
Fuck the Clippers.
And with that being
It's all
said,
good, baby.
with that being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm your boy Rudy at I Am Smarts on Twitch. I Am Smarts on Twitter. I Am Smarts on the gram.
This is George. Follow me on J Undefeated 7, Instagram and Twitter.
Hey, I went back to see some of our videos that we have, some of our quarantine series, and we have a bunch of fucking viewers on all this shit, like a bunch of fucking viewers, and
Yeah,
we
shout
don't
out to you
have
guys.
enough subscribers. So y'all need to fucking subscribe to this shit.
Please.
So you know what? If there's one way for you to become a smarter Galaxy fan, little by little, I know I called you guys stupid last year, but if you want to start getting smarter, your first step is by subscribing to Straight from the Stands. There you go, and you're already gonna be one step smarter than the other dumbass.
Please.
Again, listen.
Follow me at LiveItF96 on Twitter and at 80F2 on Instagram.
Please.
Just to kind of reiterate on Angel's
Please.
point, if you're new to soccer, if you don't understand some of the concepts that we talk about, I think it's a great show for you to check out. I think that's what he's trying to communicate, but he does it in a
Yes.
very, in a. Good night, guys. Have a good one.
Unapologetic podcast.
Peace, love, and Jesus, up, baby.
Peace.
Fuck the Clippers.
Clippers
Clippers.
in 4, bitch. Fuck you.
Army's whack. Marines suck. I can say that now.